Welcome back to Tractors and Life. I'm Kevin. If you have any kind of equipment at all, mowers, tractors, skid steers, we all deal with gasoline, diesel, and or oil. And if we're maintaining our equipment properly, we have to dispose of those. So I'm going to show you what we do as far as disposing of those fluids, and also how we transfer. You know, I'm not getting any younger. I don't enjoy lifting 5-gallon containers anymore, and I sure don't enjoy pouring them into equipment in awkward places and situations. I make a mess. So I hope you enjoy this video, and yeah, let's get to work. Hey, if you enjoy our videos, we certainly would appreciate a thumbs up right here. Thank you for watching. So you may recall a video or two ago when I did the complete tractor maintenance. And of course, one of the things was changing the hydraulic fluid. 6.5 gallons or so. So that's what I've got in this pan. Plus you saw me add the other one that was mostly engine oil. So I know no matter what I do, if I try to get that oil into a 5-gallon pail, I'm gonna make a mess. So I've got an oil transfer pump that I want to show you. Yeah, so admittedly, it's a little bit of overkill, but it was not a tremendous amount of money. It was, I think, around $90, so I'll put the link in the description. Plus, I expect to have it for a very, very long period of time. I do have this pump right here that I use for diesel. Now, that's an absolute back saver. I bring those heavy 5-gallon containers back from the gas station, and then I transfer them into this unit, which is a 32-gallon, 120-liter fuel transfer tank. You know, the thing is, when I was younger, I didn't even think about any of this stuff. But taking 5-gallon containers, pouring them into the tractor, you know, you make a mess, and they're heavy. So this way, I kind of control the use on my back. So right now what I want to do is I want to transfer the oil behind me, mixture of oil and hydraulic fluid, into 5-gallon containers, and then I'm going to take them to Napa. They will take the oil. There's a container they have out back that you just take your 5-gallon pails in, pour it in there, and on your way. No charge or anything on there. Of course, you know, I'm sure that they resell it. People will use that to heat barns and shops and things like that. But let's get that done. All right, so one of the things that I did was, just so I can remember, I actually labeled these lines S for suction and R for return. So obviously the suction line is going to go into the oil vat, and then the balance into the 5-gallon containers. This thing's pretty powerful. It'll do it pretty quick. It's also a self-priming pump, which is just less hassle. All right, so I'm not gonna fill these all the way. There's no reason to handle super heavy containers. All right, so that's one. And then it gets down to the point where it's manageable to be able to pour the balance into the 5-gallon container. So again, to me, just one of those things that makes life easier. So now I'll take these containers to Napa and get rid of them. You know, a lot of different places you can do that. AutoZone, I believe, takes it, but I'm going to Napa. It's kind of a path of least resistance there. They've got the tank on the side of the building. You just go over, dump your used oil. You know, I had bought a couple 5-gallon pails from Amazon specifically for this, to store some used oil in. And like a dummy, when I bought it, I bought the pails that did not have the spout on the cap. So I just had to order a couple extra caps from Amazon. So yeah, we'll get that done, and then we'll see whatever else we get into. All right, well, that's a pretty easy process. Hadn't been here before, but yeah, where it's located and everything is pretty convenient. Okay, so what I'm doing is just warming up the engine because I'm going to drain the oil. So we'll do that now. All right, so where this is located is just a mess waiting to happen. Got some pig mats down. So I think what I'm going to try is this flexible funnel. Yeah, I think that's going to be fine. So I'm embarrassed to admit, I got this generator, I'm thinking like 10 years ago, from my buddy Bob, and I haven't done a thing to it. Now granted, it does not have a lot of hours on it, but going all that time is not good, and I'm not proud of that. But we'll get it taken care of today. So what we use this for, obviously, are power outages. So right at this door behind me, I plug one end into the generator, which normally sits back there, and the other end right into the house. Works out perfectly. Then I'm able to just open the door so that the carbon monoxide goes outside the barn. It's a little quieter with it being in the barn rather than sitting right next to the house as I used to have it. Used to have to take this out the side garage door, house garage, and this thing is heavy. This way it's just ideal. So 0.030 is the spark plug gap. So I'm going to go ahead and gap this right now. So I've got the boot off. So here's a look at the plug. It's not that bad. Okay, so this is the new plug, and I've got it gapped to 30 thousandths. All right, so as far as the air cleaner goes, that's this right here. Okay. You know, as I suspected, it's not that bad because there just aren't many hours on this machine, but we'll go ahead and put the new one in. All right, well, I think we've done all the draining we're going to do. Plug back in, start putting some oil in. I honestly don't remember how much this takes. I think it's a little over a quart, but I'm just going to keep checking it after I put the first quart in. So we don't get a lot of power failures here. I know that before I bought this house in 2018, they had what they called the October surprise. This was a devastating lake effect snowstorm. Actually hit on October 12th, 2006. There was widespread tree damage, power outages, as heavy wet snow fell on trees that still had their leaves. Power outages were nearly 1 million people on the Niagara frontier. It was reported that as many as 57,000 trees were destroyed or damaged. Which was, I don't know, a couple feet of snow in October, which is unbelievably unusual, even for us. We don't, as far as snow plowing goes, I don't even normally plow until December. Of course, this year I had to just do a little cleanup. But anyhow, the snow came down, this heavy snow, because, of course, in October it's not that cold. All the leaves were still on the trees, so it brought down the trees on top of power lines. My house and 3 others are on a separate transformer, so not exactly a priority for the power company. What I understand is they were without power for several days. Well, that's when this comes into use, and of course for any just standard power outages. So I want to keep it in good shape. All right, that's 1 quart, almost full. I know it's not. I'm actually going to look up the oil capacity because I know it's got to take more than a quart. All right, so looking at my phone, AI says between 28 and 38 fluid ounces. Well, This is, of course, 32 fluid ounces. Put the whole thing in, so that's somewhere between there. So I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and start it, let it run a little bit, and then recheck it. So right here is where the generator plugs in. Cord comes right out the door. So when I run it, I just leave the side door open. Because it does have a carbon monoxide cutoff on it. If you don't have it ventilated, it won't run. So here's the question I have. What else should I do? You guys that have generators. So I got a new plug in it, new air filter, changed the oil, kind of a visual inspection. Put down in the comments, what else should I do? I really depend on this thing. So let me show you what I do kind of in the standby mode. And you see I've got it hooked up to the positive and negative terminals there. One nice thing about this generator is the push start, not having to pull that cord. So, of course, it has a battery on it to enable that to happen, and the trickle charger just does a great job that if and when I need it, the generator's ready to go. So what I'm doing now is hooking up the trickle charger, and the tractor will stay on it for most of the year, most of the winter time, I should say. Yeah, just the fact is that, you know, during the winter, as much as I hate to say it, I won't be using it too much other than to plow. Either that or move something heavy around the barn here, but yeah, this will keep it fully charged when I need it. I also, as you saw, I put the generator on a trickle charger, and once I'm done with leaves, the X350 will go on a trickle charger as well. You know, again, when you're living in a cold climate, there are just certain things that you have to do to protect your equipment. And I think you've seen a good deal of that on our channel over the past couple months and in the years previous if you've been with us. I got the tractor all ready to go, and I filled the tank up the other day and took every drop of diesel I had in the transfer tank. So yeah, I've got a 32-gallon diesel transfer tank that I've shown on the channel before. I'll show you guys again. And kind of a pretty cool system to transfer from the 5-gallon containers into the transfer tank. So I'll show you that as well. You know, in my book, you know, not getting any younger, and if I don't have to lift those 5-gallon cans, I'm not going to do it. Yeah, so we've got, this is November 8th is when I'm making this video. You'll see it probably a couple weeks after that, but they are predicting some snow next week. Yeah, we got a little bit of snow. We've had about 5 or 6 inches of snowfall, but most of it's melted in the driveway, and it's just a slushy mess. So I figured I'd go ahead and take care of it because it's going to stay cold for a little bit, and it'll ice up tonight. So my wife, Tess, is originally from the Philippines. Kind of a funny story. When we moved here, she went from the Philippines to Florida, and that's where we met. First time we came to Buffalo was the Western New York area. I always just say Buffalo. First time we came there was in January, and the coldest part of the winter. And of course, most of the trees up here outside of the evergreens, of course, are deciduous. So we got here, and of course, there was no leaves on any of the trees. And Tess asked, "Why are the trees all dead?" Really kind of funny, but you think about it, what she grew up in was mostly a tropical environment where they don't have deciduous trees. So yeah, she thought all the trees were dead. This is a little town called Akron, and been here for a couple hundred years. A lot of these houses are well over 100 years old. Just a quaint little town though, really nice. So what I am doing again is I'm taking the diesel from the 5-gallon containers into the fuel transfer tank. And to do that, I'm using this 110 pump. So this is the suction side, this is the fill side. So yeah, let's get to transferring. So by the way, the reason I have these sticks on here is to keep it from curling at the bottom of the tank. This system really works good. It empties these 5-gallon cans in no time at all. This gives you some idea of the flow coming out. Okay, of course I do live in a cold climate, so I'm going to be adding some diesel additive to it. If you're not familiar, what that does is kind of keeps the diesel fluid from congealing and messing up your fuel system. So we're ready to go. These are my empties. Probably going to be okay till the spring. Transfer tank is ready to go. I got to tell you, I mean, for me to need fuel this winter, we're going to have a bad winter. But it happens. And if it does, I'm ready to go. Highly, highly, highly recommend this system. Saves on the back. And the transfer tank is just awesome. And I think it bears mentioning, if you watch our channel for a while, you know that I've had others that, well, frankly, they were horrible. This thing doesn't leak. It's really fantastic. Highly recommend it. Again, I'll put the link in the video description. Yeah, as you saw, we had a little bit of snow already this year. They're predicting a colder than normal and a snowier than normal December. But I feel pretty good about where we are right now. I've still got a bunch of small miscellaneous things to do, and I'll of course share those with you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Hey, if you've subscribed in the past, thank you. But please make sure that you're still subscribed. God bless you all, and we'll see you next time on Tractors in Life.